I don't know how much value I have in this universe, but I do know that I made a few people happier than they would have been without me. And as long as I know that, I'm as rich as I ever need to be.
Hey kid, what time is that?
It's time to refresh.
Back once again with another podcast. This is episode 62 of the podcast. Got a bit of a special one on here today. This is like, I don't know how you would describe it, because it's like a CD series that's sort of, it's not because you're not a brand as such, but
no.
it is
what it is. Yeah.
So yeah, and I just want to go over everything that yous have done over the last sort of 12 to 18 months, is it roughly?
It's been there 2 years, hasn't it now?
Yeah, nearly 2 years.
Well, it will be in the end of the year, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just start. What I want to do is, because you've both been on before, obviously, for those who don't know, this is Carl and it's Pricey, and they do the Is What It Is little like mix series as such, where they address everything that they want, really. Anything that's wrong with anything, calls out fuckery, and we'll just get straight into it. So, like, before we get into like the actual context of everything, I just want to ask you as well, who came up with the idea, right, and what was like the initial concept behind it?
There'll be an argument here now. It started off as something else, didn't it? We were actually going to do one with Easy,
Right.
the three of us, because obviously he's massive and he's a good friend of mine as well, but obviously he's very lyrical and he's quite controversial, and we did have a bit of a thing, and it just didn't come off, and we carried on talking about it, and it took a few months, but we just decided to do one, and that was it. The first mix I did, sent that in, and it just needed a name, and
yeah. So
I come up with a name, we'll put that.
Yeah. So for instance, right, like, how long have you been mates for, and like what's the story behind it? Like, because obviously it must be
The story was, I wanted Leah to sing on a track,
right,
and then I mentioned it to him, and then never heard back. Just got a mix sent instead.
Yeah.
And
So that's
I'm still waiting for Leah to sing on a track,
Yeah.
and I'm 4 mixes in now. So
yeah. So obviously we've talked behind the scenes and that, and there's a lot of like thought that goes into this. It's not just about the subjects or whatnot, but there's a lot of thought, and there's a lot of research done as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like research into your subjects and how it's done. Basically, I heard the first one, I was like, this is different, I like this, and then the second one, I'm like, right, yeah, it's getting momentum, and it's ticking out, it's filling someone's void. I think there's a lot of people out there who were like, just they're straight in your inbox as soon as you drop one. They're like, I like this, and this, and then they listen to it for a second time, and they're like, because the first time I heard Volume 1, I had to listen back over it again because there was like bits that I missed, and then even now I'm sure when we get into it, there's going to be bits that I've missed. That
they get worse as they go on. Though, don't they? You got the 3. You've got to listen to 4 or 5 times, don't you?
There's a kid who's listened to that volume 3 120 something times. Like, he must just get up in the morning and put it on. But I'd advise, if you're gonna listen to it and actually want to hear it all, you're gonna have to sit there and listen to it. Like
don't passively listen.
Yeah, don't just put it on in the kitchen or while you're doing your dishes. It is one of them in the car maybe, or just. Yeah. And that's what we wanted, because you know how it is. Everyone loves all these big names who are all up on the stage on a Saturday, and that's what people go to watch. But when we started really talking about how to put them together, the way he writes and stuff, it's like an album. Yeah. But like one track on an album might be over 2 tunes on a mix, and it's split, and it one might only be 64 bars, but there was another one that's like, I don't know, what was that? Stalker for Harmony. They just get
that Stalker one went over 3 tracks, didn't it?
Yeah, that was like a 3 track.
It was full maxing and then like 2 breaks when I was here about. It was about 180 bars. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
About 5.5 pages of A4. It was ridiculous.
I feel like an absolute tatey now because when I come and done the first podcast with you, I was like asking you like lyrically like about like Eminem and stuff, but when you put it into the context of what I was trying to get at, there's a story behind the album, not just the track. So that's what I was trying to get at when I said the first time. It might sound like a complete tatey.
I write them like when I get him to do a mix. I like to say to him, imagine you're reading a book. So like when you're planning it, start hard, and then it'll tailor off, and then go again. Just take it somewhere. Don't just like it's not. You can't have banger after banger. It's all right, but you can't listen to it. Like they won't all, like every rhyme will link, but like if the first one's a banger, it'll be hard, and then when the tune changes, the rhyme will reflect the tune. So like I'll just try and.
So we can create the mood of the whole half an hour by him go, because now that I know him so well, I'll go right. He's gonna want to go in hard for 2 tunes, and then he'll like take it easy, make it a bit funny, and then it'll get darker towards the end and a bit aggy and that, then I can do my mix.
It's just relevant variety. That's what it's just like. Some of them will be aggy if there's a case for it. Like I'll have a little dig at someone or something if there's a case for it. But then after that, I'll
slag yourself off.
Yeah, I'll get real about something. I'll slag myself off, and then after that, I'll talk about something absolute that makes no sense, but it'll be
someone
just
can
like
relate to
that
it.
dream rhyme, just something completely random. But it's just got to have variety, but be good.
Yeah, right. So we'll try to get into like the fucking meat and potatoes of it then. So like, with volume 1, how many subjects did you go in with at the time? Like, what was there
was no real plan on
Volume
the first
1
one because obviously we didn't know each other that well.
Volume 1 was very much it is what it is. You just chuck something together, and I'll just chuck in.
There was still subjects along the way though when you listened to it.
Well, the first one we planned that because you liked that with the Fooled by Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne's Fooled, and he sent me that, and he's like, "Can you start with this?" So obviously, then I thought, "Oh, hang on, he's got a plan for this track." So then I know my next track's got to be kind of similar because I've listened to mixes of his before, and he goes over mixes and the 2 tunes. So, like, we used that one to start. So then he was sending me bits of the rhyme that he was writing for it. When the first one's like Frankenstein, so it's like. It's one of my favourites. So he basically wakes up on a table and he's Frankenstein's monster, and Frankenstein comes down the stairs. But it's all relative to the scene. So,
but have you seen Van Helsing?
Years ago.
Right. Watch the beginning of that film, and then listen to the writing. It's just that beginning 15 minutes of that film crammed into about 60 bars, really.
Yeah. So that's why I like when you were saying you're pulling from inspiration from different places. At first, when I first heard the first one, I thought, oh, this is good. But then, as you say, as you're getting more into it, I was just like, right, now there's actual... They know what the target audience is.
Yeah.
They know what they want to address in a way that... I don't know how to word it, but basically, you would go... there's no, like, beating around the bush with it. You just go straight into it, but cleverly. Whereas, I said to you, like we were talking off the pod there, you could do this on a Facebook status and probably just get a big reaction and write it and stuff, but you've done it in a way where there's lyrics and there's a mix to it and it's clever, and there'll be no blowback on you because you've got to have a certain level of skill to reply to that.
I think that's where a lot of the anger come from.
But it's also an appreciation of the skill as well, like from my side, because obviously he gets a lot of the flack. Obviously, he's the mouth, isn't he? He's gonna get all the grief. But you know, truth be told, the amount of work that goes in either side, even with he'll tell you himself, but like the bars and stuff, he'll like be halfway through. Right, where do we go here? Like,
it's very much a together process. All of
what you're telling me, you're a boy band and not
very much.
Yeah.
So with what changed between volume 1 and volume 2, other than obviously you got closer as mates? Like what's?
I feel like it was just our mutual opinion on the state of some of the stuff that goes on. Like, not just in the scene, but just in general, we were noticing like news stories that were like so ridiculous they were funny, and like like
you've seen that.
But like there was what was on volume 2?
Volume 2 was the kids one, and
Frankfurters. Obviously the we'll get into it now, shall we?
Straight in.
It's like we just noticed with the old Oktoberfest thing, and you know how it was. Everyone was bigging up these international bookings and like,
Right.
look what this is going on my CV and all that. And fair play, if people want to go over there and do it, that's completely down to them. I'm not going to hold anything against them. But then it was like, you know, the promise it'll look good on your CV, and like you come back and people were posting all over it, and so we kind of went into that a little bit, and but jokingly, because at the end of the day, I'm happy for anyone who thinks they're succeeding and doing well, and like that's
if
how
you
it
listen to it carefully, it's not even a dig at anyone. It just references it.
Yeah.
It's not even actually a dig. And Frankfurter is a really funny word. So
So go on. Can you for obviously, because there will be people who's watching this who follow the podcast who don't know. So can you quote that section? I know it's maybe a big bar. Go on.
Can I quote? Hang on.
Sorted a place to stay. It starts, isn't it?
So you sorted a place to stay to work away at some German rave. Thursday playing nerds, I heard you paid, but at least the Frankfurters were worth the wait.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, that's like the rhyme in which it's cleverly done, but you're addressing like real life situations, and I was fascinated by it. Obviously, I didn't even catch that the first time I listened to it. I had to like listen to it.
They're just subtle, like I'm not like, and like they do, like I don't actually attack anyone. That's the thing. People think that I have done, but that was. Like again, that was retaliation to a lot of Facebook stuff, and mine for some reason.
You're not out to get anybody.
I would like if I dig anyone at a mix, right? I promise you now, I've got a reason for it.
Yeah.
Whether they've had a little dig at me.
Yeah.
But again though, I won't I never get personal with anyone.
Yeah.
If I haven't I don't know people there's a lot of people I don't know people personally to go at them. But if they want if they have.
The point of it is, everything that we do say stuff about is something that either that person or someone very close to them has posted on Facebook themselves publicly. Yeah. We don't go asking questions about people. Yeah. This is all stuff that just people are just happy enough to just go, I'd have that on Facebook.
Nine times out of 10, it's a difference of opinion, and I don't see what the problem is, because the person I'll be having a difference of opinion with has put their opinion on Facebook or on a post or something. I'm just doing it on a mix.
Yeah. Can I ask though? This is like a question in which do you think that what you're addressing? There's a lot of people who think the same but wall it on.
Yeah, loads. Loads. Yeah. I just need to show you my inbox, and then I just need to show you my inbox, and then cross-reference that with said difference of opinion on status, and I'll go, well, that's what they've said to me, but look at them there having a laugh there. And it's like, well, don't sit I just sit on my, whether I'm right or wrong, if I believe it. Yeah. That's it. Right, if whatever.
Why do you think people are jumping into your inbox saying, fucking, I agree with you, blah blah blah, but then they won't have like the backbone
because they agree
scared to lose a booking? Is that what it is?
Yeah, but I reckon a lot. Not all of it, I'm sure, but I reckon some of it is they don't want to fall out of favour with the people that are giving them these.
Yeah. Or is it they don't want to lose face to certain individuals?
I don't know. I can't speak for any other people, but
we see what happens.
You see how it is. It's very playgroundy. Yeah. But I used to care 12 months ago. I really cared, and it bothered me, and that's why I were angry all the time, and I was digging at everyone because I were angry because everyone sees the problems, just no one does anything or doesn't want to do anything about it. Depending on where you are, you might not want something to be done about it. But again, I'm just whatever. I'm just back to writing rhymes now. Just whatever.
That's what it is, isn't it, I suppose. But then, so obviously getting into the volume 2 mix, there was there was actually so many, because there wasn't just stuff to do with the bouncing, there was stuff to do with life as a thing, and I think a lot of people probably related to them as well.
I reckon the My Three Boys one.
That was 3, wasn't it?
No, that was number 2.
Was that 2?
Yeah, over glue on it.
That was
Roman Joe's Blue.
Yeah, see, that's real. And the problem is, I think because there was the other controversial stuff, which is 1.5 minutes at the end of a 30-minute mix.
A lot of that went over people.
I don't think I'll ever write a better rhyme than that letter to my kids one. I don't think I'll ever write a better one.
This is my issue that I want to ask you about though. Do you not think that you're speaking real when you're doing it, and it is quite an emotive bit of writing, but people were more interested in a controversial thing.
Yeah, because they love a bit of
They
drama.
were
Yeah.
because I've noticed the people, like you say, there will have been a lot of people that were only interested in the last minute and a half of that mix.
Yeah.
That was only because, like, I know how quick a mix will move, and that mix moved, and I know it was just, it had gone round a group chat, or there's people on the phone going, listen to the last minute and a half of that.
Yeah.
You know, and the first 2,000 plays were people listening to the last minute and a half.
Yeah.
Because it happened in 2 days.
Yeah.
I know for a fact there's no one sat there listened to the full 30 minutes and caught it all in 2 days. There's no way. It doesn't happen.
I had people get at me for that mix, saying you can't say things like that, and I've gone, have you heard it? And they've gone, no, I don't need to. You just can't go saying things like that. So I know, and to be fair, it wasn't even bad what I said. It was just a fucking killer line, weren't it?
Yeah.
It was just an absolute piece of brilliance, and I don't give a fuck.
My thing is though, like, would people say that to you if they listen to the full thing? Because the letter to your kids one's like a bit hard on your sleeve, so it's like it's not as if you've just wrote rhymes and went bang bang bang. You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
No, it's not. But again, like the people that I want to hear, like the rhymes, like have got at me and have mentioned that rhyme and gone, fucking hell, mate.
Yeah.
Like they're the people.
All the comments on the SoundCloud link for it are all around that rhyme, but like they're the people who aren't the people. We know that there's a lot of people who listen to it regular that aren't on the scene, so they haven't got that interest in the fucking what that was at the last.
They're interested in the artistic side of it. Where I think if you never said like one of the rhymes that's in it, I think that you. Like for instance, if you released the Letter to Your Kids one as a track as itself, I think it'd have probably got a different reaction.
Yeah.
It would, and it still would if I did it. But again, like it's one of them. Like there's just, I don't know, but that was at the beginning of the mix.
Yeah.
So to get to the end bit, you've got to listen to it anyway. But you're that geared up, and again, it just sleeps on. Like there's that much of a divide between
Good and evil.
no, that. But no, that's a thin line. That. But like between you're either a lyrical MC or you're a host, and
Yeah.
there's very few in between, and I just think it rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way for some real reason. But again, that was retaliation after something he said about me.
Yeah.
And he wrote a massive post about me. I just said 2 lines in a mix. Essentially, that was it, and it went absolutely mental. So whether it's a state, I don't know what it is.
Is it because people, right? This is a good thing about the internet. You see, is it because people write things on Facebook and think it just disappears?
Yeah, I think there's a big.
Or does the tune live forever?
I think people forget that there's a screenshot option on your phone, because people even like write these big long-winded, heartfelt aggy statuses about something or someone, and then like everyone, like there'll be 50 comments on it in 10 minutes, and then a couple of hours later they've deleted it, but there's 50 odd comments on that because someone screenshotted it, it's gone into a group chat, everyone's laughing about it, and then everyone's going onto the post and commenting, and that's how that happens.
Yeah, I think that is the problem. I think people write stuff and that, but if someone writes something that I need to click up on, I think, right, well, I won't alert my presence.
Yeah.
I'll just screenshot it or just.
Yeah.
Have you seen that, lad? Yeah, seen it. Right, sound. Good.
That's where I'm getting at. Like, so when you're putting this out, people are purposely listening through these mixes, looking to see who you're digging at when they're not actually listening to it.
But I think a lot of it as well. I know there's been a little bit of who we're digging at, but I think 90% of what we're digging at is what we're digging at. Do you know what I mean? It's always a situation or something that's happening, or a circle of people, or a behaviour.
Yeah.
That they're what we pick. That's what we go looking for. We don't go for which person is being the dickhead and saying this.
Yeah.
We're just taking what it is and going, that's happening a lot.
It's
we'll
the
go with that
culture
one.
of the bounce scene.
Yeah. If we see 5 people talking about the same bit of fuckery, we're only going to take one person's fucking thing and go, we'll use that because it seems to be something that people are
and it'll
talking
be
about.
very and I'll edit it. Like it'll be very much like what 8 Mile is to Eminem's life. I won't just take it and just start quoting off stuff that happens. I'll factor it a bit, but it'll be loose. There'll be enough there for if you know, you know.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of it is as well. Like would some people would listen to it, hear it, and not really click onto it because they might not have been around that particular situation. So that, but then they're the sort of people who are listening for the letters to your kids and the other stuff,
Like,
the stories.
Like, there's no fun if you just start going at people because like he got caught cheating on his bird or vice versa. Because no, like it's tight that. Do you know what I mean? I'd never go like that or like whatever.
Someone's been collared and knocking the bird about or
Yeah,
something.
like,
You're not going to start making fun of a bad situation.
Yeah, it's not like that. But a lot of it, again, it's opinion. But for some reason, a lot of people get mad when you have an opinion that doesn't fit theirs.
Yeah. Do you think that some people who jump onto your case are like, they say it, but in a way agree? They're like, you can't do that.
Yeah. Because why can't we?
Yeah,
at the end of the day, like, I'm a big thing of. You see a lot of people talking about like how you can't say what you want no more. You know, especially online, Facebook. Yeah. You put a status up, Facebook doesn't like it, whips it off. Yeah. Can't say what you want. Oh, I'm sick of not being able to say what you want. It's everywhere. It's all people are talking about. Yeah. He says something on something that he's put sweat and tears into. Yeah. And does it, and it's an issue when it's musical. We've not sat and wrote a big status about it and just pressed post.
I just don't get it as well. Like it was like because you get like rappers do it all the time. Have little like fingers, don't they? Grime were built on having digs at each other and that and like.
Well, the rap scene that's what blew it up. Because there was like your rhymers where it's like, oh, they're good, they're talented, but it only really made mainstream money when people were at each other's throats about it.
Yeah, I just didn't think people would get mad. I was hoping someone would have like a little dig at me or something. I don't know. Say like I've got 7 toes or and like web feet or something like that. But no one did.
Turn it into a versus battle.
Everyone just got super mad. Like
So what was the subjects that you got the biggest blowback for from volume 2?
Oh, the last bit.
The last bit. Volume 3 suffered a bit from the last bit, I think.
I don't think so, but
I don't know.
So do you think that I don't think people turned off.
No.
I just think people, I think after volume 3, I think people after 2 where it got a bit heavy. I think everyone expected 3 to be like an absolute nuclear bomb. And that was never the case. Like that 2 was never like, right, we're going to absolutely have everyone here. Like it was just, it's not even bad again. It's that one line. It's just one line in it that proper turned it. And
how many people are going to pause this podcast right now and go listen to this line? Watch your plays go right up.
It's a good one.
No, but my thing is though, like, other than that one, was there any other issues that people had with you? Like, you can't say that, you can't say that.
No.
They think some of the because it is some of it. I'm not saying it's dark, but some of the stuff that's in it is like I say, quite emotional stuff, and it's like they're not saying you can't say that.
Yeah.
But people can relate to that.
Dark is good if it's done in a tasteful way.
Yeah,
in this modern era, there's very many people that like have a very like wake up and smell the roses every morning.
Yeah,
like everyone needs that dark. That like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, everyone likes a bit of dark.
But like, my thing is though, there's stuff that was said in your mix where it's like if people are going to pick up on stuff, it's only because there's a controversial element behind the last minute and a half of it. Yeah. But if people are going to really pick up on stuff, this cancel culture and stuff like that, there been stuff like, oh, you can't say that. That could affect someone's mental health. It's like, no, but it can't. That's the thing. Like, you're writing about your own personal experiences. Yeah. It's not as if you see a lot of people get cancelled over stuff where they deserve it, but people are discrediting maybe some of the stuff you wrote earlier in that mix just because of the last 1.5 minutes. And that's why, like, obviously we're here today and that and stuff like that. I wanted to address some of the lyrics that were said in it because people have actually missed the whole point of it.
I think there's a few in volume 2. There's the Hessian one that was kind of scene related a little bit, wasn't it?
That went on a weird route. Yeah. That started off with it was like Mum and Dad, and then went
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, then went in that's
but it was like the I think the premise of it is kind of like there's some artists in the scene, and then they kind of all. You've seen Sleepy Hollow, haven't you? When he's outside the church and he can't come across the gates and all that.
I haven't seen. No,
have you not seen it? Not seen Sleepy Hollow. You need to watch that. Basically, he's a headless horseman and he can't come onto the church ground, so he's stuck behind this fence, and there's all people hiding with the vicar. So we've kind of used the vicar as the scene, and all the people on they're all congregated to him because they don't want to, and he's outside ready to fucking.
Oh, that's it's clever that you see. Like, it's one of them things though where people might take the wrong the wrong viewpoint. 'Cause obviously, not everyone knows everything that's actually went on.
Yeah, and I feel like, obviously, at the end of the day, even if you know anything about the scene or what goes on, or if you don't, you could listen to that and it's just a story.
Yeah.
You don't have to know
that's
anything.
Like, that's how I write. Am I right?
you-
Like, so, like, they're that. A lot of them now are that cryptic.
Yeah.
You have to be clued up. Like, you have to be like.
That's the issue though. Like, when people are hearing it, they're making a judgment call off what they're hearing, but they're putting stories together that they know behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it's like, if the shoe fits.
Yeah,
then fucking
and
wear
I'm
it.
sure the shoe fits many a foot. Like, do you know what I mean? There's,
But you might not even know about some of this stuff.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you know what I mean?
There probably is. There will probably be victims for some of my stuff that ain't even meant to be victims, and I apologise.
Yeah, but like but context is key, and if the shoe fits, then sort yourself out.
Yeah.
Like that's the way I see it. Like, if you think that someone's taking a shot on you cryptically on a mix, why would you think that if there wasn't truth behind it?
But I don't. I just. Yeah. I
Do you know where I'm coming from? Like,
Yeah,
if you think that, am I one of them people who hide behind the vicar?
yeah,
You are?
that's the
Like,
I'm onto it.
that's
Yeah.
the nicest way to put it. Like, no, but I'm not wrong though, am I?
Yeah.
Like, where's the lie? Do you like that one?
No, this is this is another big thing we're big on, aren't we? We're not just gonna go up and start making things up. Do you know what I mean? Because we'll get called out on that. You probably noticed that there's never been something that's been we've been pulled up on, and someone's gone, "That's not true.
Yeah.
You've made that up." Because that's one inbox neither of us have ever had.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Like,
But I'm sure
when your fucker is there, it's like
it's undeniable.
Other than like a rhyme about
the weird one.
headless horseman or anything like that. If I'm having a dig at something, I'll never make it up. I'll never lie about someone. Or make something
just
up.
for context.
I don't need
content.
to. Just take 5 minutes and scroll down your newsfeed and you have a laugh. Like you don't need to make stuff up. Like,
Yeah. So obviously volume 1 was a bit you just didn't really know each other, but volume 2, what was your personal favourite part?
I did like the opener. I like the first 15 minutes of volume 2.
You can't say that.
Yeah, you need
to be more direct, man. So what's your favourite part of volume 2?
Probably the letter to my kids.
Yeah.
Just because I could do it. Like that was because it were around then. If it wouldn't have got such a bad reaction, right? Like not even a bad reaction, but just like the what would you call it? Just the controversial reaction.
Yeah.
I pretty much jumped into Frey off back of it, didn't I?
Yeah.
I got dead annoyed. I got dead annoyed. Like he proper ate away at
It
me.
was very apparent very quickly that everyone was just interested in the first last minute and a half.
Yeah.
Like after a couple of months, you know, it was.
I think I went about 3 months. I went right, do me another one. I'd like.
Because that was just before our first podcast. Because that wasn't long. That's why on our podcast I was like, it's too soon to drop the mix because we'd not long done the second one.
Yeah.
And it was well too soon, and that's why really I think a lot of the tunes on volume 3 are older tunes because I didn't know how long it was going to take him to do.
Yeah.
So I couldn't use new tunes at the time that in 4 months are going to be out of date.
Yeah.
So I kind of mixed it up to the point that it didn't really matter about the new and old in it.
Yeah. So my thing is with yous, right? When you did the volume 2, when obviously we've talked and that beforehand, do you find that when it come to doing volume 3, some of it just wrote itself because of the backlash?
No, he likes it.
Not that it didn't write itself. What I mean is like you didn't need to look for subjects.
Well,
the subjects were there in front of you sitting.
Yeah, to be honest, number 3 I'd say was there is quite a bit of scene related stuff on that.
Yeah.
Cryptic again, a lot of it, but I think that was probably down to him going on a negative one or feeling the way he felt, and then just like being ultra focused on what was going on and picking bits off. And he's obviously just filled his head with a load of stuff he can write to, and gone right. Get me a mix.
Yeah.
So my thing is right. Do you not think? I'm not saying as an MC because I don't know my shit, but do you not think when you write music, right? You write like when you're emotive with it, that's when it's at its best. So when you are proper getting the cob on over it, where it's like, this is bothering me, and you're writing it, you could be producing your best material.
Well, I still think that 3's
Yeah,
his best.
see, he thinks 3's the best one. I've not listened to it all the way through
The
it.
thing is though, my thing is, if people are shutting you down over it, right, it's like, can they handle the emotion? Do you know where I'm coming from? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. It was just free with writing it. Like, cause I get deep on it, and I have come off Facebook for like a month when I'm writing, because I'll just get distracted and I'll see something. I'll go right. that
something
needs to go
new.
in.
Yeah,
I have to have a cut off point. But with free, I was that annoyed because again there were bits on too, which I think are my best stuff.
Yeah.
And it got like, when you spend that much time on it, like, you want people like, and because I was just like, everyone's banging on, and again it's like 4 lines that are bad on it, and like it did me head in. So I went into free practically straight away. I got proper weird. I went proper weird and aggy, and that's how I was writing it. I was just writing things, and I can write like and he's decent, like, but I knew what mind frame I were in, like, and like just doing it.
You had the self-awareness.
I just didn't like doing any of it. But
so when you did it, what was like? So obviously 2 came out. You've got a bit of backlash off that last 1.5 minutes. When it come to, because you obviously, we were talking at the time, and you went straight into it as soon as 2 came out. You were like, right, well, we need to get to work on 3. What was what was your process when doing it? So it's like, so my thing is, when you're there, it's like you're annoyed about it, but you're just going straight. Like, how did you approach it, getting into it?
Me, I knew obviously the sort of.
You share the
Yeah, well, so basically, I knew that he was gonna be pissed off, and I knew straight away that everything, the first fucking 5 minutes of that mix are gonna be aggy as fuck. So when he was pestering me for the mix, I was just like, right, and I just put like dead dark tunes for like the first 4 tracks on the mix.
is that
And
one with Buffalo Bill on that?
yeah, like
see,
that, and I just
weird.
and I knew what it'd do to him. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I did that, and what I knew, and then when he started sending me the bits of what he was writing, I was just like,
Yeah, but even the nonsense got dark on that, because like the Buffalo Bill off Silence of the Lambs.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good in that, but like,
it's
and then there's
weird.
like the Fritzel one later on. It was just in a really bad, dark, horrible.
I'm glad you said Fritzel, because that's a link to all 3.
Yeah,
There's a reoccurring story throughout the 3 mixes so far, and obviously 4 will have another
part
section
of
on that.
Yeah.
That'll finish it off.
Oh no.
Nah, obviously, but yeah, the Rebecca rhyme.
Yeah, there's
Stacey.
Stacey's first, and then who's a smackhead. Then there's a daughter, Rebecca,
Who got took off her in
who
the
got
first
took off her in the first rhyme. That's in the second one, and then the third one is about the dad who was.
No, it's about the fella who killed.
No, yeah,
The
it's
mum on it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Rebecca's dad.
Yeah.
Like, see,
Sorry, my bad.
proper weird little family affair and that. But
Yeah. I mean, it's like fucking Simpsons characters, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
Who's got their own little universe?
but the links are so like the way you've done it is so clever, because you only figure out the link at the end of each one.
Yeah.
like a lot of them have got names though, because like if you give it a name, it's real. It's a person.
See,
You know what I
thing
mean?
is,
You're
right,
making it like.
do you feel like maybe you're getting maybe discredited because people are just basically what I think is happening is when you're dropping one, they're listening to it over it quickly, see if they can find any nuggets in it, right? But they're not listening to it for what it was. Like that rhyme when you say how laid it is and stuff like that. If people actually paid attention to it, it's like you'd have more credit.
Again, but I appreciate the fact that the genre of music I do it over.
Yeah.
Is not.
It's not
aimed for that. It's aimed for. So again, it's part and parcel. I don't think I get discredited. I feel the people that listen to it.
Yeah,
I feel like I do a good job on a 30-minute mix.
So do I do, but what I think more people would credit you if they just took, I want to say like beer goggles, but it's that if they just wipe their eyes and just be like, oh, actually,
I've said it to a few people. Like, I've got a couple of mates like local to me, and when we first did the third one of them was like, "Oh yeah, it's sick that," and I was like, "How many times have you listened to it?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Just once." And I was like, "I'm literally," we ended up putting it on because he's an MC, the other lad, and he follows his stuff. So I slowed the mix down on the decks. I put it on the decks and I slowed it down to like 135, and he just sat there listening to it, and like everything was, and you could just see his head just falling off with like just the content in it's just outrageous.
Price will sound like Dre, that.
Yeah.
Like, again though, like I know how I write, so as long as like people like Pressure, Jid, Arky, Easy, them type of lyrical to go like give it a nod, I'm fine with that. I know where I'm at, like I know what I do. Like
I share the same sentiment. So if I release a tune, right, I look first and foremost that it is for the general public. I don't care if fucking any DJ likes it or what. I do it because I like it, and if the general public like it, then I'm winning, right? But then after that, I've got 4 or 5 peers who are like, well, if they think it's decent, it's regardless what anyone else says, you know it's good. If you can get 4 or 5 people who's held in high regard to be like, it's fucking good, that, mate. Like, you know that people who saying they don't like it is just because it's either you've ever took a shot at them, or that it's cool not to like it. Because
I just use my bird as that barometer. Me, I just play it. I play her one of our, because she doesn't like MC and she likes all the know the nice tunes and stuff. But
nice tunes.
if she'll sit there and listen
it's a
to
matter of opinion.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But if she sits there, listens to it, and she'll be like, yeah, that's good, that's enough for me, because she'd normally just go, I don't like that. Or, Because if I've got some stuff on in the house, like, especially if I'm doing him a mix and I've got like the MC tunes on, or she'll just I would fucking turn that off. I had enough of it, but it's, you know, and people like that. But again, it's all a matter of opinion, isn't it? And the general public of that, like, let's talk about general public. So if we put one of our mixes out to the proper general public, like people who'd never heard of bounce and all that, 80% of them wouldn't like it because of the music it's on.
Yeah.
At least that many, I'd say.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you I don't know, you'd have to put him on something else to get that appreciation from the general public.
Yeah.
So
you've got the niche who like it, right? But what I'm saying is, because we're in such a small scene, that say for easy numbers, right? There's 5,000 people in this scene, right? 2,000 of them like the MC style of our scene, right? So that's knocked it down already. And then out of that, you've got the ones who it's cool not to like his because he's a controversial, so that knocks it down again. What I'm saying is, if you can please your niche of X amount.
Well, this is what we say, you know, like I said before about that kid who listens to it constantly. They're the sort of people who you do it for. There might only be 400 of them. There might only be 1,000 of them. There might only be 10 of them.
Yeah.
But if they're fucking getting up in the morning and putting your shit on first, then
that's you winning.
Yeah, that's the biggest argument that does me, right? I will put a mix out, or anyone who can spit bars or put a mix out. It will be good, and you'll guarantee somebody will pop up on the mix and go, can't hold the crowd though. I ain't trying to do. I ain't like, I don't understand it how from me putting a mix, people are jumping on that going, can't hold the crowd. I'm not trying to. I never once have said, you do that. You do that for your. You do well done. I don't understand it. Like, you can't just leave it alone. Like, you go and do that. No one, you don't hear me going, well, you didn't shout oggy loud enough last night. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking leave it alone. If you can't do it, fine. Like, I know I can't. I don't.
That's what I'm saying. There's different styles.
I don't sit there me going, well, I'll pretend for, like, I don't even sit there and try, like, if I do an event, I'll do my bare minimum. But in my head, I just think, well, I've got many people listening to me. They like what I do. So let me just go and do it. Like, if it bombs, doesn't it? But it, like, done all right so far. I can't do that. Well, I probably could, like, do that if I tried and wanted to learn it. But I just this is me. Like, I'll cater for everyone on a month. Like, everyone's drive to and from work. It's fine. Like,
that my thing is with just though, when I'm like listening over the mixes and stuff like that, and when I hear you, I don't think, like, let's put him in front of a crowd and doing the host and the chants and stuff like that, because it's not about that. It's like, do you reckon you could go and jump on like a 2-pack video on YouTube saying I couldn't hold the crowd? No, but you're looking at it because you appreciate them for them lyrically.
This is my point though. Like, you've got like you've got all like grime MCs. There were some of them at Glastonbury this weekend. Like, what you say? It's an invalid argument for me. That it really is, because like when Blackout go and do the PAs, they spit in the bars that they like. Do you know what I mean? So there is like you couldn't do a full night of what I do. I wouldn't even want to go to that. But like, do you know what I mean? It's just this. You can't hold a crowd. Sound. You go and do it then. I'll do this bit. Like, I'm doing this bit because you lot can't. So because you're like, it's a very like there's a big pool of hosts or people who want to host. Should I say? There's a very small pool of people like me. Yeah. And I'm happy with that. Whatever. Like let you all fight.
But that's what it is as an artist. So for instance, you sent me a tune the other day, and it was the new one.
Oh yeah.
With
talk to me, Aaron.
With Glover.
Oh.
And that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't go to you. It's not Brad Riffresh enough. Like I wouldn't.
That's
do you know what I mean? Like I couldn't go to you and go, do you know something? He hasn't got a pokey donk on, so it's sort of irrelevant. It doesn't work like that. Everyone's got an artist and expressing their way. If everyone was a host, right, people would be screaming out for lyrical MCs.
Yeah.
Everyone was a lyrical MC. They'd be like, I can't have these on the nights.
I feel like the grey area in between has become really muddy now as well. Like obviously, you're getting a lot of these. There's a lot of MCs about now, a lot.
Yeah.
And what's the number? Say 75% of them are all just doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And you know, you see them all. They're all over all the lineups. They're in a room too. There's 10 of them, and they're all just going fucking mad. And it's not working.
Yeah.
That side of the MCing is not working. The hosting is working.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to go and put a video out, 5-minute video, dead lyrical, fucking well thought out, well written, perfect, or a mix
it's
or whatever.
Different crowds.
But then there's this bit in the middle where you put in there's big events on, and you put in 4 MCs on that just want to sit there and rattle bars out on a stage that's with a DJ that's playing fucking
it's not full
vocals. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
that middle area to me is getting really cloudy.
I think you could book around it, because I think for me, the fact that Presh isn't or wasn't on every event, every big event, every week is a crime, because lyrically he's the best that'll ever do it over bounce by a million.
I feel like the way they are now, the MCs, they'd be better off as doing like live PAs.
Yeah,
on,
that's
on
what
events.
I said.
3 or 4 tunes.
No, because you're an artist. That's what it is.
Yeah, so you stop an event halfway through, you play 4 of his tunes, and he does his bit, and then he leaves, and the night carries on.
Because look, like
that's the way to do it.
You
for
can
me.
take your pick with Pressure easy as well. Like, I'm not being funny. If you stopped a show and said, right, there's 3 of Easy's tunes, or like he's done videos to him, and he's gonna rattle them off for half an hour, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
People will pay to go and see that live.
It's insane to me that it's not happening.
Doesn't make, like there is that full package word gets pulled out. I heard that a lot at the beginning when I was doing bars, and like, you've got an older crowd full package. There's about 3 that can actually do it. Finchy, Clover, and Easy. That is it. You can put them across any. Currently, it's them 3. Yeah. That is it. Full package MCs across bounce. It's easy. Lukey P. Lukey P as well. Sorry, I'll put Lukey P in. Them 3, 4. That's it. Anyone else? Have I missed anyone?
I don't know.
There will be ones.
Arky, 5. That is it. That is it. That you could put in a rush pit in a studio or at a festival, and it's probably them 5.
But what's happening now is there's a load of MCs that are they're that rush pit. That's all they are. And they're getting put onto these stages where there's crowds of people who want to hear vocals and this, that, and the other, and you can see it happening. You look at lineups and
that's fine, but instead of like having a dig at them or saying this up and comers can't hold the crowd, show them how to do it. Instead of like saying, he were knackered him last night, we'll not have him on again. If someone's good for whatever aspect, nurture him. Show them, because they ain't going to be around forever. Like the top tier, like not too old to do it. They do it as long as they want, but they ain't young. It's not a young generation.
No, right.
Like I'm still an up and comer. I'm 31, so like it's not a young thing. So where do they come from next? Because you can keep whinging that we're not
we're just becoming old school. So
like,
that's the same.
It's like you can keep saying that this new generation ain't as good as the last generation. We'll help the new generation, then, or do you not want us to be? Is that the thing? Do you just want it to have your little heyday where you can all look back and go like, this was the golden ages. Bring back them days. Well, yeah, you can, or build on it.
Yeah, my issue is you see this as a DJ, you see it as an MC, right? It's are people holding it as placeholders because they did a rhyme 20 years ago?
Yeah,
or
well, of course they are. Loads of them. I'm not asked. I'll say it right now. There's loads of them. Loads of them that just sit there and go, "Oh, nothing will beat these days." But maybe not. But do something now. Do something. Just prove it then. If you, I don't like Pele was the best football player in the world like 50 years ago. Should he put a pair of boots on? No one will line up centre mid for someone. It's evolution.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? United are knackered in midfield. I would, if Roy Keane signed a 1 year contract next year, I go, what is going on? Like just because you were sick 20 years ago, do something now. Like,
yeah,
because there is enough good guys waiting. There is. I'm not asked. They might not be able to host as well enough, but. There's enough of them. There's
enough good MCs out now for them all to put a music video out, 5 minutes, all bars, and them to gain some proper traction. But they all want to stand on a stage with a big fucking name DJ and just try and rattle bars to a crowd that don't want to hear it.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not a big on that because obviously there's ones I look up to and that, but it's just the commentary. The ones I looked up to then are mainly still doing bits. Yeah. I haven't got a problem with how good you were or how good your days were and how good you were back then. You was, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But do it now. Like if you do you know what I mean? If you worked in a sales office, and you did a really good deal in January but sold nothing till December, they'd sack you.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
So what are you like? What are you doing? Them not like them little bits where they'll all have a bar and they'll all have a bar which keeps them through it. And rightly so, they've wrote that bar, they've put the work in, and it worked. And it's good, like it is good. It gets the crowds out, that's fine if it's for that. But do you know what I mean? But I just think don't talk about MCing if you're only doing that, showing up one Saturday every 3 months for that.
So what if I was going to be a devil's advocate and said, this name X his name value would sell the tickets because of what he's done in the past.
That's happening, but people buy the tickets for that, don't they?
But that's fine. Yeah. I'm not saying it is a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just think. If you're slagging off the work that's being done now but not doing any work, I just think it's a bit tight. I don't understand the angle.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to say from a promoter's aspect and said to you, right, well, I'm going to book him over him because he did this 20 years ago and I know he's done nothing since, but his name value is more than your name value.
That's business.
That's undeniable if that's the case.
That's like
I buy a pair ticket once a year because I want to go and see all them older ones because that's what I want, but I go to pay for that. But like I said, it's all becoming blended now. You're going to put a brand new night on with brand new music and brand new thingies and then have someone on there who's done nothing for fucking
that's what I mean,
15 years.
Like all these classics nights, you can't put a classic night and put someone like me on it because I weren't there for like. Do you know what I mean? But I just think if you're going to put a 155 Langer night on and I'm not on it,
I'm just going to speak to the camera right now. Pricey's miles better on this one than he was on his last one. You're much more on like talking to you now. You're much more comfortable.
I don't care anymore. That's why.
No, you're just much more comfortable. No, and I agree with like I obviously will not agree with everything you say or you won't agree with everything I say, but there's the shit that goes on that you sort of have spoke publicly about on these mixes, and say for instance tomorrow you bring out a new volume. Do you think that there's people sitting there waiting just to jump down your throat because you might say?
I don't think necessarily. Well, maybe not many, but I don't think it's more. I don't think it's really the case of them wanting to jump down our throats. I feel like, and it's still from number 2. I think people will still hold on to that last minute and a half of number 2, and they'll sit and wait for a new one, thinking that there's gonna be something similar or like, because don't get me wrong, the way I put a post out about the mix and I said, no holds barred on this one, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna say that.
Did someone die? Is that what? I've seen the comment.
No. But like, there's like, the point of it is, I'm not gonna sit there, pay for belter artwork, and put a post up and say, bring a mix out soon. It's all right,
Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna tell a little story. I'll get people reading, and then the picture comes up, and then
people are invested in you.
Yeah, and I've told Pricey he can say what he wants. I always tell him he can say what he wants. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
that makes people think, and then it got people talking. People were on the status. Some people agreed, some people didn't, and then that's exactly what I wanted to do. People are interacting and looking at the picture and going, "Oh, there's a new one coming out next week."
I'm gonna go off subject a bit here, just because I feel like it's relevant into what you're talking about, but you're probably not in this conversation. But it's about wrestling. Do you think that, say, CM Punk, right, would be the mega star that he is if it was just based off his wrestling ability? No, absolutely not. I'll just answer this question for you now. It wouldn't be. It's because he knows how to sell it, and he knows how to sell.
No, he just said it as it. He just, whether it was all a big work or not, he just said it as it is, didn't he? He just.
But if you're gonna link it to the bouncing, what I'm saying is, if it wasn't for him hyping things up in the past the way he did it, and he did it smartly as well. It's not as if he's just like, oh, I've got this new thing that's coming out. When you transpose that into the bounce scene, you don't just go, new mix coming out, it's going to be dead good, blah blah blah. That end of conversation, right? When you go and tell a story, people invest in that story. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at with Punk. People are invested in his story. I'm using him as an example because he's told there's layers to it, and there's parts in which you've put a post on Facebook saying this is what it's going to be about, and it's just another layer to the mix. And then when they listen to the mix later on and go, oh yeah, when he said that in that post, that makes sense. Yeah. People don't understand that, and I think that's what the bit where I think I'd like to defend you on it and say I think it's out of order. People are jump down your throat and go, there's no need for that post at all. Like absolutely no need for that post. No, but there is though, because at the end of the day, it's like Apple putting up an advert for a product.
I want people to listen to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's not just. And I don't just want people to listen to it so I can go, oh, my mixes, they're good. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I want it there and people listening to it and thinking it, because
when you put them posts up, you're weeding out your target audience as well. Because it's like them ones who are commenting on it are like they're the ones who really pay attention. Do you know where I'm coming from? Yeah.
And obviously, I forgot what I was going to say then. But I want to get those people ready for it, because it got shares and stuff, the post, and I was like, wow, who's sharing it? Do you know what I mean? Like, because people are looking forward to listening to them, but we want, the reason we do them and we put the time and effort into them, because you know what it's like for us now. You go and listen to a mix that's 10, 15 years old. I want to, in 10 years, I want to hear someone drive past in a flying car with volume 1 on. Do you know what I mean? Because that's where we'd go, right, we've done something there and it's stuck around. Anyone can go and play Room 2s for fucking 2 years, right? And have everyone licking their ass and blowing smoke up their ass for 2 years, and then they're gone.
Gone and forgotten.
They're gone. They've never put a decent bit of work out. There's nothing there that people can look back on and go, look at that, what they've done.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
Yeah. That's my big view on it. Like, I've always wrote before I MC'd, so, and it's got me through some horrible places and times in my life. Like, even recently, like when I've done some of these, I've been like in like bad places. So you can like, and that'll always be there. I write under as much as for me as I do for everyone else. Like, it's just like an hour, 2 a day where I can just like put my headphones in and then like you can swap all that to go and do a set for an hour on a Saturday, make people buzz. But then the next day they might remember it, they might not. Yeah. But you can't deny what I've done on a mix. Like if anyone says, well, I've put the effort there, the 6 months working, right.
You know, we don't make any money out of it. It's not something that it's not a business. It's not a brand. It's just
Volume 3 cost me a fortune. It cost me about 3 ton. I come back twice. Like it was just.
You done it. No, it's obviously a passion project.
That was another thing as well. Obviously, with Volume 3, we went extra with it. You know, Volume 1 was good. Volume 2 was better, and then Volume 3. Obviously, his work gets better every time he does it, but the mix itself needed more for this one. So, you know, Mikey put a bit of extra work in, done some bit of production on the mix, and he just give it that extra 20%. Do you know what I mean? And you can tell. So the next one, we've got to step it up again, haven't we?
It's a good one. It's a good one. This one.
It is.
So my thing is, right, if I have to relate to you in a way where the amount of times I've got Aggie and I don't mind saying this on a podcast as well, the amount of times when I've produced a tune, right, and I've went away and people, oh, that's decent, blah, 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 I like this, I like this, I like that, that's good. But then they'll say, oh, yeah, but it was not as good as it was back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no offence to them producers back in the day, but like, I'm not making what was made back then, I'm making something that's now. And it's like, if you want to just carry on going to your classics nights, then go and do it. But I'm here about here and now. I'm making new music for people.
That's
My analogy would be, it's like when I put this out, it's like I did a remix of something, right? And they'll go, yeah, but like it hasn't got the vibe of the original. I'm like, well, it hasn't because I'm me and I'm not them.
yeah.
Plus,
And-
they were probably there out in a club after Barnet when they first heard that original, and
Yeah.
it's got so many emotions and feelings and memories attached to it. You're not gonna get the same vibe off a new one that's just come out.
Yeah.
That's not the same, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. So my thing is, right, I don't like, you touched on it earlier as well, you said there's no like younger generation. I'm 27, I think.
Fucking hell,
I don't know. 27-ish, right? 26,
kidding?
27.
Nah.
No, I'm 27, right?
Get out my house.
Right. I'm
I'm old now.
I'm one of the youngest to come through in the bounce scene. I maybe 4 or 5 younger than me, and yeah, as time goes by, they'll get a bigger name for themselves and stuff like that. But right, I feel like if there's no new artists coming through, who, like you were saying earlier, who are like the young artists in our scene now are 30 plus.
Yeah.
That's a young artist.
Yeah.
Right. If that's saying that about it, right? What are the ravers who were there? Are they all going to be 30 plus? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
how are you meant to get the new generation of? If you want to pack out a venue at 2,000 people, you can't expect 2,000 35-year-olds to turn up because they've all got kids' responsibilities and they're not 18 anymore.
Yeah.
Right. My issue is, if you're wanting to create, you need to have that new breed. So, for instance, we've all been in this a long time. We're still classed as the younger generation of it all. Which
Christ, I'm 37, mate.
Yeah,
there's,
no,
no,
but-
there's no young generation
I
in
feel
me.
proper old now. He's 27.
you went silent since
You hear me that? I thought you were well older than me. Well older than me.
No, but that's my thing. It's like, are you always going to be held at that thing because you weren't around in 2002 when somebody was in a fucking nightclub somewhere in the middle of Lancashire, fucking DJing and spitting a rhyme, producing this track, getting it pressed on vinyl or what? All these different scenarios where it's like, oh, it's better in the old days.
It's mad, innit?
It's like, what do I need to do to compete with that?
Yeah, you can't.
can't.
I don't think
You
you can.
can't.
No,
You
but is it just time?
Yeah, I just
No.
don't. I don't think you'll turn them people. I think
No.
I think it's a turning point now. To be honest, I think we've spoke about it, haven't we? There's the scene's definitely at a crossroads now. I'd say because of
It's got to have the younger generation.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also, you know, there's brands putting events on really regular. They're really noticing their numbers dropping, and then there's brands that are putting 4 or 5 events on every year and they're rammed out.
Yeah.
And I think a choice is going to have to be made by certain people, and I don't think, like you say, with our age, you're not going to get the younger generation all coming to a night that's on every 5 months because you know what, they're not that arsed.
Yeah, they've got the attention span.
Yeah, they're just going to go, I won't go this one, I'll go next week, there's another one on up the road or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I think, but they all go to the big events, the 3, 4, 5 a year as well. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like if we just slowed it down a bit, put a bit more in and made the events the smaller events a bit bigger and less frequent, then I feel like you'd get more of them.
Everyone wants a piece of the pie though, don't they?
This is it. But
you're never
I'm
gonna
not a
win.
promoter and I don't know what certain people's intentions and driving forces are, but for me that's what I think. And with us, the same with the mixes now, we're putting them out, not really that focused on bookings and clubs and stuff, because what we do doesn't work in a club for an extended amount of time.
For argument's sake, right? Let's say you put out 4 of them mixes a year. You're gonna get 4 in-depth reviews from everyone, like where they're gonna go, I like this on volume 2, I like this on etc. Right? If you done one of them every week, No one will be asked.
No one will give a shit.
Well, that's the
I say that, and I do a podcast every week, and
But with different people and different
different.
genres
It's not
and
just-
different topics.
It's you're the only constant every week.
Yeah.
That's it. Like that's
that works because of the variation of
Yeah.
you could go and have an MC podcast wouldn't last this long as you've been doing it.
Yeah.
People get bored of listening to the same story that every MC's got.
yeah,
And obviously there's variances and people got slightly different stories, but it's all going to end up around the same.
Yeah.
And people will get bored of listening to it, but because you'll have a house DJ on, a fucking bounce producer, an MC, a DJ,
Had me on
and
twice,
it just changes so
does that
much.
mean I'm his favourite then? Because he's had me on twice.
Well, that'd be his favourite.
maybe. No, but my thing is though, I put these out every week, and I see people drifting and out like trends.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I see, for instance, there'll be this person who's dedicated to listening to it for 4 episodes in a row, for like 4 weeks, and they're right into it, and like every like the in my inbox after every episode, and they're like boom, 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 and then I'll not hear from them for ages because they've discovered something else. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
And then they come back, right? Whereas if you do 4 of your mixes a year, you know that them people who've discovered you, they'll always come back because they know you're not doing it often.
Yeah.
This is like what it's like with events. If you're putting an event on every single weekend, right, you are gonna have a tenth of the people you'd have if you made it special. It's like, I don't mean to like sound like I'm sucking ass or anything like that, because I've got no intentions of sucking ass. But if you look at BTID, right, they put their calendar out. They've got a theme of what they're going to do. Right, this is Wonderland. We're doing this. This is Pier on the Pier. We're on a pier. We're doing camping at this one. We're doing Boxing Day on New Year's Eve. Whatever it is.
It's the cleverest way for him to do it.
Yeah,
because
and it's because every single one's different, and it's not, you're not just right. Well, we've got this club booked out on a Friday.
But also, especially in today's climate, people haven't got just disposable money week in, week out. So for them to go, right, here's your dates.
Yeah.
These are what you need to book off. Here's your Mondays that you need to book off work.
Yeah.
Here's the tickets that you need to buy over the next such and such. They tell you which order they're in so that you can go, right, I'm going to buy that ticket this month, and then I'll maybe wait 2 months and buy that one, then I'll get that one. People can plan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Instead of just, this is on in 2 weeks. Fucking 45 miles up the road, and it's 20 quid a ticket.
Yeah.
And they've already bought tickets for something else bigger the week before. They've not got the money to just go, here's 20 quid and get you like playing yourself out of your game, if you know what I mean.
Do you think that obviously you have addressed it on in the past on like mixes and stuff like that, like you've talked about the scene directly, and I say the scene loosely because we're all just be one big community. Do you know what I mean? People say the scene's a horrible word, but it's the best way to address it.
Yeah, it is.
Can you see eating itself? If, for instance,
in a way, yeah,
like
it's its own worst enemy at times.
Yeah,
you know, like, and I think, and we're all guilty of it as well, because like someone will moan 1 week that the scene's in a state, and then the week after they'll be saying it's the best thing in the world, and then you know people seem to just have a little fallout with it.
For a lot of people that don't like drama, there's a lot of drama. That's all you see. Like, done with drama, me now. Fucking drama fucking every day. It's mad. Like, it's just fucking shut up. I bet you fucking love it like us.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell, we've got a mix series off back of all your drama, so just have to enjoy it.
That's just there's gonna be drama. You can go and get into the drum and bass scene or hardcore. There's fucking drama everywhere.
Yeah.
But don't make out like you're striving for a scene without it, because it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
you know.
I think that as well. Like, I believe in healthy competition. I believe in like, for you to be good, you need to have somebody who's on your level. Does that make sense? Like, you've got to have somebody like. If I've got no thing in saying this as well. This will probably get shared in WhatsApp groups. but
the whole thing.
I do a podcast. There's other people who do podcasts, right? Have I got to be better than them? Of course I have.
Yeah.
It's just natural because if you're going to make the, like, let's say for instance, I've talked about it recently as well. It's that alter ego tune.
Yeah.
Lights go down. Right. People will try and replicate that because of how big it got.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm not aware that people are jumping in my inbox right now saying, I'm going to start doing a podcast because you're doing really well? Well, yeah, I'm more for that. I want more, because see, if you up your game, I'll get that itch, and I'll be like, right, come on, then I'll fucking take you on. So, like, do you know what I mean?
100%. And it's not. I know it's the same. coming back to the mixes, like we're very aware. It sounds like blowing smoke up our ass, but I am. But we're aware of how good they are.
Yeah.
You know, it's not we're not going to put something out or work hard at something to put it out if it's not as good as we think it should be.
Yeah.
But
you'd like to put out the best of your ability work.
Yeah.
Anything less is
and
just, you may as well just throw it in the bin.
And we've been sat there for 2 years now waiting for someone to do a better one.
I get super petty. Mate, someone will put a video out and I'll be like to him, right, I need to do a video. Like, I'm super petty.
Yeah.
I never do one, but
Yeah.
I get like, I need to do a chat, I need to do, like, I'm proper petty.
Yeah.
Like,
so you do that and you talk to each other about it. I do this to my missus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's like,
I'll
so and so's done this, or so and so's whatever. I don't see it. I see healthy competition, and it might sound like I'm just so like sunshine and rainbows. It's not.
No.
Sometimes you've got to really get aggravated to better yourself.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, people are saying, "Oh, you're only your own worst competition." I agree with that. My podcast, and I've said to you on when we've been talking, my podcast is only as good as the last episode that I did.
Yeah.
And if I did a shit episode this week, I know for a fact people will be like, well, fucking hell, let's scrap that. I could go and do a fucking top tier level one the week after, and someone will say, fuck me, like, he can talk him.
Yeah.
Like, and I've got that awareness, and a lot of people will give up if they do one. If you do a bad CD, they'll be like, oh, fuck, I've lost it, or whatever. Yeah. You just got to fucking reflect on yourself. I need to do better. And I need to do, and if there's somebody else in your lane who's doing the same thing as you, it's like, well, why am I not doing it as good as that person?
Like we did the third one, didn't we? We wouldn't put something out if we was even slightly unhappy with. Like we went the third one, we were in the studio for 6 hours, and we had to come away. Yeah. It just wouldn't glue, and it all looked good on paper, and the music was like bang on. We had to come away and go back for 3-4 days later because we just was not happy with what it was, and we knew what it could have been, and we had to get it
and
there.
It was that though, and
and we got it there, but again,
I think a lot of people put stuff out and they shouldn't as well.
I think we spoke about this, didn't we? Like, this is what I mean with this. I've seen there's other MC mixes, DJs, MCs, might be 2 MCs on it, an hour long or wherever. You see a lot of it now, a couple of MCs on a mix, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And there was one not long ago, and it was all hyped up, and it was a 45-minute mix. It had 2 MCs on it, and one of the MCs spat the same rhyme 3 times on a 45-minute mix with 2 MCs on it. It's just sloppy, and this is why I think a lot of this, because people who aren't into bounce could be going through SoundCloud and just clicking random mixes, listen to that and just think, oh, fucking shite.
Yeah, I'm not into this.
Yeah,
I can't say the same rhyme twice on a mix. Like, do you not like on 2 separate mixes? It like.
Yeah. See, my issue is though, if we want to progress forward, right, as a scene, like, cause I'd say I'm quite selfless. I do this because I want to document the scene. I don't want to document my life. It's got nothing to do with my life. I'm asking you questions. I'll ask the next guest questions, whatever. I do that quite selflessly. But when I do something that's mine and I'm taking pride in it, I think that, say for instance, you're doing your next mix and you're getting stressed out with it and stuff. It's obviously because you're passionate about it. And my issue with all this is, it's like, for someone to maybe disregard it just because it's not their favourite MC, and then you get people from, like, I know my biggest supporters, because obviously I've got like analytics and stuff. I don't know my biggest supporters, who they are. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I can see listening figures. I can see who's listening. I've never heard of them. And one of my biggest supporters is from over in the northeast. Listens every single week, and they're right at the top of the stats. They've bought stuff off my Bandcamp. Everything I've ever put out on it, and I have no clue who they are, but they're my biggest supporter. They've accidentally found me. I don't know how they've done it. Whether it's been through another guest on here, or whether they've discovered my music or whatnot. If you want this scene to progress and go forward, do you not think that you need content like what yours lot are doing? Like, how is what you doing a bad thing for the scene?
100%. Like,
do you know what I mean? Because you've got content to put out, and you're putting this out to the world, and it's at a high standard. You need to hold it. You need to hold yourself at that level as well. If you're wanting this scene to progress forward, why should anyone be able to say it's out of order, that lads? Like why are you putting
I think
that out?
the biggest one for me, obviously, I do, you know, we write a bit together, but with me just doing the mix, the thing for me, all I want to hear after everyone is that it's better than the last one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anything other than that is just.
Let's just say there was a rival CD series come along, and it is what it isn't, sort of thing, and they come along and went, "We're doing this."
It'd be
bang,
called
bang,
"It's
bang.
Not What It Was,"
Yeah.
and it'd be some 50-year-old man doing it.
No, but like again though, like this is where I'm different because I'm sat here waiting for someone just have a dig at me on the mix, please.
Yeah.
Let me play.
No,
Like-
but that's what gives you the hunger.
yeah,
to
but
do
that's
it.
what I mean. But like if it's music, if you have a dig at me on a mix for anything that I've like said musically, fine. Like that's what I do. Let's play. Let's have a little dig. Like, do you know what I mean? Off that volume 2, I was sat there just going, do you think any of them will? Do you think any of them will say something back? Like, do you reckon we'll get like if you want to get if you're a grown like as we said, everyone's pretty much above 35, right?
Yeah.
If you're 35 to 45 and you're MCing, and I have an opinion that you're shit and you're kicking off over that, grow up.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because you'll be one of the people that keep going, why is everyone getting mad? It's only bounce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're getting pissed off with little old me, who's technically a no one,
Yeah.
saying, I don't think you're that good, which
Yeah.
is the worst I'll ever say about someone,
Yeah.
and you want to get that mad over it,
Yeah.
sound. Yeah. Or what you could do is just have a bit of fun, pick up a pen and just write something back and we'll see what's cracking, but no one does. They'd rather kick up a fuss about it and like...
What about this then? Would you say that some people missed the boat when can you remember a few years back, and it was Easy and it was they did like a back and forth battle.
Tasker.
Easy and Tasker.
Yeah.
So what we're wrong with that? How is that any different to what I've done?
No, but what I'm
But
saying
there's no
is,
reply.
do you think that there's promoters out there who could have really cashed in on that?
Well, I think they did because they mates like.
No, but what I'm saying is, the controversy creates cash.
Yeah,
I think
there
that's
was
what
an
it
event
is.
off it.
Yeah,
There was a full event on it. Like they ran an event off the
There
back.
could have been more than that.
Yeah.
Though. I get where I'm coming from.
They headlined the event, but I think the whole video series of that could have continued.
Yeah.
They could have got the fucking mates involved, coming to back them up, and then someone. They could have gone so many different ways.
That was never my intention. My intention was I was just replying to a status the best way I know how.
Yeah, oh no, I totally understand that. But what I'm saying is, there is no reason why.
I just don't see the problem. Unless when you start, as long as it's not personal, when you cross a personal line with anyone, then you've got to be prepared for people to get angry. Like if you're going to start mentioning the kids or someone's wife or mum or so, you're asking for people. That's like legit. Like,
Yeah, that's in any
But-
walk of
but-
life as
but
well.
if
Expressing
I'm-
a musical
but
opinion musically.
If I'm saying you're shit at MCing and you're getting mad, you're probably shit at MCing then.
Yeah.
Like if someone told me shit, if someone said to me, if you come here and I went, you know what, Pricey, to be honest with you, part, I don't like shit, I'd be like, okay, fine. Like,
Yeah. So
sorry.
then if you went and just went, nah, fuck off, I'm fucking it's like you're
I
defending
am
something
that,
already know.
but like that's my
Are
point.
you
like,
though?
yeah,
Shit, I just tell him he's alright.
What do you mean outside now?
but you know where we're coming
so
from.
I'm 31. If
Yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? Like my lad said I was shit at MCing yesterday. Do you know what I mean? What
Yeah.
like he's grounded like, but no, but that's my point though. Like,
Yeah.
so what? It's
Yeah.
whatever. It's
To a certain extent, it is only donk, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but-
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as in I don't care about the fucking scene. I love it.
Yeah.
Been around it for fucking long enough now. Too long. But it is only music to a certain extent. You can't get personally aggravated by someone having a musical opinion of you and expressing it musically.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to
Yeah.
respond musically, you
Like-
can't really
no,
respond
but that
at
as well,
all.
I hate that as well where people say it's just bounce because again that's all relative. Depends who you are. It's not
Yeah.
just bounce to me because I've been really depressed. Like and writing has got me through stuff. And like
Gets
it might,
people
it
through,
might just
yeah.
be it might just be for you. You can get home from work and it might just be bounce for you. You have a go at decks and it is what it is. There's other people that will say it's only bounce that probably don't need to work.
Yeah.
So is it still this only bounce? Because there is people that probably don't need a Monday to Friday job.
Yeah.
They can probably do 2 sets a weekend and live cushy. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Not just MCs, DJs as well.
Yeah.
So like, is it just bounce? Because if you took the bounce like that wage some of them get, like,
Okay.
away, they'd notice it were gone.
Yeah.
So it's not just bounce though.
Yeah.
Because you're 48 and still doing it, so it's not just bounce, is
Yeah.
it? There's a reason at that age
You-
you're still doing it.
Yeah.
And I bet it's financial. So in a lot of cases,
Yeah.
like, so is it just? But like, I hate that term. Like, if that's how you see it, fine. But like, that term is relative depending on who you are.
Do you know what? I might get like a bit philosophical with this, and it's the wrong person to get philosophical with, right?
For me, no,
No, not you. No, Glover, right? I swear to God, right? No, he wrote on my status yesterday. I put a thing like 7 years ago.
How many spelling mistakes were on it?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'd have to look. But he commented saying, I remember I used to hammer this tune of yours back with, when I lived in my dad's, and it's like he's holding a memory to that, and to me that's like one of the biggest compliments you could have, because it's like you don't know if he's going through a good time or a bad time. I'm not saying you were Glover, but
chances are it was pretty bad.
Fucking hell. No, what I'm saying is that like he obviously looks back on it fondly, and for me that's like if someone says to me your tunes, like I hold that in a time and moment in my life. Fucking hell, you've changed. You've done the job for me.
Yeah, you made it worth it.
Like,
yeah,
it's all relative, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you can say like it's bounce, everyone needs shirt, but it depends what it's gotten through or what it does for that person.
yeah.
You know,
Do you know what I mean?
there's plenty of people that fucking do go to work all week and they just can't wait for that Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Do you know
Even
what I
if
mean?
it's
And
just a rave,
it's not just bounce for them.
It's like people get mad over it for a reason because they care. There's people that might be getting mad over it for a pathetic little reason, like because the bird went missing all weekend or whatever, and like they ate it and whatever. But
Yeah.
there is it's no different.
Even then, it's not just
it's
bouncer,
still
is it?
It's still no, but it's still music though, regardless of like what genre. Like I listen to. I don't really listen to it, to be honest, unless I've got a mix. I listen to what I listen to get me through it. But there's people that will put it on first thing in the morning to get them up for the day.
Yeah.
So it's not just. It's music. It's not just bounce. The scene's shit. Like how it happens. People in it are knobheads. But it's music and.
But you notice who takes it seriously anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
You see, there's people who take it seriously. There's people who dip in and out. There's people who are scurrying about, not really doing much. But the ones that do care are the ones that you instantly know.
Yeah.
You know, you got your John Neals and your Andy Whitbys and the fucking all these big names who are doing well. And they put him, and they fucking do some travelling and fucking about.
The work reflects it.
The work reflects the fact that it's more than just fucking bounce.
Yeah, when I say you have to be doing something, I don't always necessarily mean you have to put your 6 mixes out here. But like, if you're on the road Friday, Saturday, up and down the country doing it, sound like going that's fine. But like, when you come and do like one event a year and you're gonna whinge about everyone else and do nothing else in between, shut up. I'm not asked. I don't care like you've been here 10 minutes, 10 years. If you've done nothing for 10 years, I'm definitely not asked what you think about my shit. I don't really care at all.
I'm on the other side of the fence, you see. So when someone says it's just bounce, I get like not a little bit offended, but I'm just like, is it though? Because like to me, I dedicate
a lot of your life.
Yeah, I dedicate a quarter of my life is bounce music, at least minimum. My missus would say more. Like where I'm coming from. To me, bounce music. I get up in the morning, and it's on my mind. Go to bed at night. It's on my mind. What can I do next? What? Who could I interview next? What tune can I produce next? For me, bounce music is. People probably watch this now and be like, fucking loser. But to me,
but they'll have a mix. They'll have a mix on next Sunday morning in the kitchen.
That's my point. That's my point.
I care about it so much that the fact is that I want it to be a better and healthier place for everybody else, and I'm involved with it because I'm passionate. If I got involved in this scene and from the beginning and knew what goes on behind closed doors, or stuff that I found out later on in my life, I'd be like, I'd still go and do it all.
Yeah.
Just because I've been through some shit with some people. I've been ripped off. I've been meant to look a mug in front of some people, but I'd do it all again just because of how much I care about it. Is it just bounce music at that point? Is it just no? It becomes part of your life, and as sad as that sounds when you say it out loud,
it's a lifestyle choice. At the end of the day, we could all fuck it off and just come home from work, do your dishes, go to bed, and on weekends go walk up a fucking hill in Wales.
Yeah.
Every week. You can do that if you want. That's fine, but it's more. I'd rather be involved in this for whatever reason. I don't even know what the reasons are.
Just good, innit? It's just sick, innit? That's like for me though. Like I've not even been to an event this year. I've not worked at one. I've not even been to one. I very rarely go to them anyway. Like I'm not.
You're a fucking gobshite. I've seen you at Sanctuary.
When? New Year's Eve.
Yeah, technically New Year's Day.
Well, New Year's Eve. I've not been to an event.
Is that the last one you were at?
That's the last one I was at.
Okay,
6 months.
Fuck off. You was at your birthday last week.
Yeah, but that don't count. That was a party. That was just a party.
Yeah, it was.
No, but I know where you're coming from.
Like,
yeah.
it doesn't bother me going to events because I'm not that guy. Like, and every other event's a classic event, and I'm not a classics guy either.
Yeah.
So, like, there's nothing. But like you said, there's nothing for me. It doesn't prick my ears up. Like, I've got Sank because I've just got an emotional, useful tie to Sank. If I don't do that, if I'm not doing Sank, and if like I'll only work for Sank or if Rome ever run me, and if they don't ring me, I'm not asked. I'm not sat here going I need to do something. I'll just keep doing mixes. If I don't work for Sank and Rome don't ring me for a shot or anyone else that I'm close mates with, but I won't just. I've no interest in chasing bookings every week. I don't care. Like it has to like.
There's a lot of people.
I'm not even being a snob there. Like
yeah. But there's a lot of people who'll cut your throat who would like. I've met people in this scene who they're my friends as much as they need me.
Yeah.
And then when let's just say there's a fucking £100 booking going somewhere, they'll throw you in the water over it because they need to be on that instead of you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like us with our little like how we don't sit there on Facebook all day every day looking for stuff to say.
Yeah.
Like as much as think that people will come up to, hey, have you heard about this? Think he's done this. They come to us for a reason because they don't say it. If it wasn't saying, I'll say it.
Yeah, but half the stuff gets sent to us anyway.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean. Or other people will send us stuff and there's a reason because they know I'm not asked. It's just my opinion. If you don't like it, don't listen to it.
Yeah.
I'm not like who am I? I have no power over anyone. I can't make Kenty decide who he's booking or Farrell or Cheese. I just have my opinion on the people they do book and if don't, or whatever. And it's my opinion. I don't understand what the problem is. If it doesn't matter.
Does that make you think then people value what you've got to say?
What I got to say?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they value it. I think.
But do they think that everyone else is thinking that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I get a lot of shit for what I say. Like you can't say that, but then get told that I'm talking shit and it's just pathetic anyway. So if that's the case, why can't I say it?
Yeah.
It's a weird one because like I said, I've heard mixes with way worse on it than like what I've said. Yeah. I've just said I think a couple of MCs that other people think are really good or have been really good aren't that good.
Matter of opinion.
Like I don't see the problem with people talking about Madeline McCann and shit. Like I don't see the issue. Like I don't question Madeline. Like I probably will, but like at some point. But like my point is, I don't say anything that bad. I think it's the fact that I've said it. It's not what I've said. It's that I've said it.
Right. Okay.
And maybe along the way, a few other people have gone. Yeah, do you know what? I thought that. I've been thinking that for time. Yeah. Maybe it's made a few people do that. But
well, that was an issue with number 2, weren't it?
Yeah.
Like, we put number 2 out, and there's so many people.
The issue with number 2 was not what I've said. It was who I said it about.
Yeah.
But what does that matter?
But there were so many.
The person I said it about was writing statuses saying I'm shit anyway. So I've just said it back. It's just the fact that my way were better. Well better than
there was loads of people coming to us though. We went to an event a couple of days after and there was people coming up to me and smoking out.
We dropped that, mate.
So glad you said that.
Do you know what, right? We dropped volume 2. We were that show volume 2 would go off. I was still at Sank. I was stood in toilets upstairs with about 20 heads on that first balcony. And he sent it me at 4 in the morning. There were about 5 of us in toilets listening to it. Sank 20 of us, but my phone scooped up and there were about them communal toilets on top. We weren't even Sank deviation, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
It were either deviation.
Was it that the green room we got about with the shower?
No, it's a communal bathroom toilet.
I think it was like a Sank or something upstairs. It were only upstairs open or something. Or I don't know who were there.
Yeah.
But there were about 20 of us in toilets. And I just cupped it and we all listened to it in toilets. And we dropped it about 10 in the morning, didn't you? On Sunday. And it just went off.
Class. Right, before we sort of tidy the day up, I just want to ask you this: what is it? I always ask all what people got come up on that. What's the crack with the next volume?
it's just gonna be the best one. Like obviously everything we've just said. It's time consuming and it's a bit of a head fuck. It gets a bit aggy, and we just said we'll just do one more. We'll put an extra 10 minutes on it, and we'll really put some work into it. The plan was we're gonna sit on it for a while.
Yeah.
The mix was only done last week or whatever, and it's just gonna be better. They'll be the same.
I think we were both ready though. Like we were talking and we were both kind of right. We were like 3 were rushed. I'm this time we're kind of because we said a few times, give it another week, didn't we?
Yeah.
A few times we said right, do it, and just give it another week, and then.
Yeah. But it'll just be the same. The quality content,
stories. It's different. It's not.
Are you looking to go out with a bang, or how are you wanting to sign it off? Is it going to be a stop? I don't want it to be like. Have you watched Friends?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like you revive and do a little side project and call it Joey.
Yeah.
I want it to be like. How are you going to close this off? Is it going to be a definitive end?
You can't ever say never, can you? But it's not going to be something because since we've done the first one, we've spoke every day, and there's at some point in the day it's been either about the next one or the last one that we've been talking about. So I think we're going to be at a point where we're going to put this one out, and then just kind of forget about it for a little bit.
I just can't close the book on it because since when he put that post up, I said it's way more than music. And during these last 2 years, there's been a burr shit going on behind them, and they've got me through it. So I can't say it in case I need them again. I need them. I need to do them.
We have said though, haven't we? Because obviously we're going to work together. There's going to be projects.
I'm not going to it's not going to stop. There'll be maybe tracks or something. But it takes me 4 months to write them. Nothing. I sit there with it and then I just go blank pad, and nothing's from the last one or from another mix 5 years ago. It's just let's go and just.
What if then? Right, I don't want to put an idea in your head or anything like that. But what if you just close this chapter, signed it off, and you've came back and you've just done something completely different? Like, come back and you've done an album. You've just done 10 tracks where these are all
we spoke about that
tracks,
a lot. It's something we spoke about. But
and you write over them that's catered to you.
Again, that we have spoke about that. But if I were to do an album, which I think I could, and I do like the sound of, it's just having the money to do it. Because it has to be if I was to do an album,
I'm not just going to put it on SoundCloud. Do you know what I mean?
It has to be. He's got to sort out how the tracks get made, and then it'd have to be an album.
Yeah.
It'd have to be an album. That's what I
And
listen to. I listen to hip hop albums.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
It'd have to
sign the mix series off though. With this is the last one. Right, but it's essentially these 4 are a preview into something bigger.
Yeah, again though, if you do that, a bounce album, the reason I've held off on it is back in the day when they used to just do CDs before SoundCloud and everything. Like a lot of blackout mixes used to get tracked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And frequency albums, so you'd have frequency 13 track 1.
Yeah.
And then you'd have track 2, and it's just whoever's done it, they've just in between where the mix out is, they've just put a little break in there. And then if you do an album, does it not essentially just become a track mix? So
no, because I know what you're saying.
No, but what I mean is then you've got to get I'd have to have someone sing on it. It'd all have to be different.
Do you though? That's the thing. There's no reason why you couldn't. What I'm getting at is right. If you did an album, right, you could go from right. I'm Pricey. I do these mixes. You're saying that I don't fit in here because I can't host. Right. To I've just done an album. I'm going to come and perform these 10 tracks on a PA. And you know for a fact it's going to be there's a demand for it because people are going to buy the album. People are going to be like, right, this is how it is. I've come here. I've paid fucking 20 quid to get in tonight because I want to see Pricey's album live.
Would people pay to see a Pricey album live?
I don't know about a full album. I don't know about a full album, but I think like a PA. They come on, they do 3 tracks off an album. That could work. I genuinely believe it could. I think I've said it on posts before now. I think the way to get bounce into the mainstream now, like everyone's cracking on, make it slower, take the heavy donk out of it.
Yeah.
And I think the way to get it mainstream is a fucking song, 2 verses, female chorus, hook, music video out.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of
I think that's the way into the mainstream. But obviously with that, people who are, these singers on MTV or wherever, they've got videos out, they've got an album out, and they do a concert and they sing songs that people have watched on the telly.
Yeah.
That's how I think that's the way it.
That's
needs
what
to
I mean.
go.
Like if you went to if you put like a grime artist or a drum and bass artist or something, like you won't get Kano doing like an album and then like doing a concert and then just suddenly hosting and not doing what he did. Do you know what I mean?
That's
I just don't.
why I
I
think
just
it
don't
could
understand
work.
why it's only Bones.
Yeah.
Where that is just like no, you will not spit more than 16 bars live.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's just like shut up, I'll just MC over your vocal. I just don't get it, because whenever we've done a little set, whether there were like 50 people in there or 100 people in there, it's never gone down bad.
Yeah.
Like because I will like,
You know when to stop.
if I'm at a like I've not done that many gigs anyway, but like if I'm at a Sank, I'll try
Yeah.
for Farrell to do me a little bit. But when I break character and just start rambling off 64 bars live over 2 drops, no, I never see anyone like looking at crowd going, fucking hell. Never
We
seen
did it Antidote, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I've never seen anyone rushing for the door. If anything, when I start levering off nonsense over a dirty like drop for 32 bars, I get quite a good response to it because no one's doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Like the 6 guys up there all saying like "oggy, oggy, oggy." Like he'll say it, but he'll say it in a different accent to him. And he'll do it on a different tune to him. Yeah, come on, leng off 64 bars with me. We'll say a good job. That's just my like. I just don't like. Yeah, and then people talk about the full package, but there isn't any.
Yeah.
There's like you're either a full host or you're a full bar.
Besides the 5 names.
Besides the 5 names that I've said, like
So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna put a little cap on it. We're gonna sign off today, and we're gonna come back after the last one's done,
Okay.
and we're gonna fucking
Break it down.
We'll get a review. We'll get a review of how you thought it went, because I can see how it's starting to take shape, and even when having a crack with you can see that you're really thinking it out. And this is. I think we've got it off at the right time. When I release this, they'll be listening back to your older ones, anticipating the next one, and then we can come back and we can talk about it.
Yeah, man.
From there. If you're up for it, that is.
that's how he gets us into a volume.
Yeah.
Gets us in for Serie 4 went and that. Well, you know.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to sign off today. If you've enjoyed this, and I know that everyone watching will be like probably just seeing it because we've dived deep into it. No, like because like to the general listener, we've just waffled shit for X amount of time. But for those who are watching, I appreciate your time. It's been great. I've enjoyed it. I think they've enjoyed it. Go and share it with your mates. Go and put it in your WhatsApp conversations and go and be snide.
Put it in your group chat.
Yeah,
They'll be in there before you said it.
yeah. Go and be snide and share it, because guess what? It gets these lads exposure, and my views are going up. So
Fucking sick.
yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please share it with your mates. I know you're gonna anyways. Thanks for watching. Nice one for coming on, lads.
No worries.
Nice one.